coming back to any advice that you might be able to give emerging writers, could I ask you to give some thoughts to people out there who might be thinking, I've written some scripts, I've had some good feedback, really want to get an agent. Any advice you could give them in terms of approaching an agent, or where to start, what they should be kind of looking for? I know when you're starting out, it's harder to get your material in front of people, but any advice you could give emerging writers?
There are, places like Filmmarket are great, obviously, and writing competitions are really good, and there are so many of them now, and I think that just helps. That kind of helps the writer also just know that their work has been read by other people and has good feedback. I think that's a real key thing, is just knowing in yourself. It's such a solitary thing, right? But just knowing in yourself that other people have read it objectively, not family or friends, have read it and enjoyed it and thought that there's a home for it, or thought there's some merit in it, is a real positive. So getting other people to read it, and Filmmarket's great because there's affiliation to business people as well. So that's obviously a draw and has a certain level of experience there, where we know what we kind of know. I think I know what I'm doing. I've been told I know what I'm doing. So that's a good thing. Writing competitions, just watching as much TV as possible, keeping your finger on the pulse of what's getting made, who's making it, in terms of the writer or writers, the producers, and also who's financing it. Is it a show that's being financed by the US, or is it a domestic project, or all of those things kind of they kind of dispel what the myth around the industry is, because there isn't really any science or magic to it. It's more like you just have to know how the recipe is being cooked, really. So I would say doing a little bit of the business research and understanding who makes what, understanding why things get made. That's a lot of my job, but I think if you're a writer trying to make something that's going to get made, you want to have a sense of where the trends are and what people are looking for and why shows do get made. So in the UK, there's always been a really big importance on, I guess, building on the brand of a book. Something like Normal People is obviously going to get made. Dolly Alderton is a huge author and has got television shows in development because of that. So reading books is always a good way to get in, and that's very competitive. And as a writer, you might not have the resources to kind of put up all that money to option a book, but looking at those books and seeing where the trends are there, and also who's paying for those shows that are being made. And then unique voices, Normal People was based on a book. Michaela Cole is certainly a unique voice, and her show was a runaway hit as well. Those two shows actually really kind of speak to what this year has been, in a way.
I loved Normal People. I thought it was so beautifully executed. It just had hooked me straight away. It's fantastically written.
Yeah, and I don't know if anyone will really know if it was about the time and place that we were all just stuck in lockdown and we had the time to kind of binge that whole show back to back, and if it had been distributed in any other way, would it have found the audience? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think there's a little bit of the quality of it is obviously at the highest level, but there are so many shows that are at that level of quality that don't always get recognized as well. So it's a little bit of science and magic at the same time.
Definitely.